gonna get straight into it. Is Todd gonna appear? Is there a wait? Alright, I think we're getting straight into it. Nope, we're not. Oh, we are. Alright, 5 seconds to talk about everything we just saw. Shit, that looked good. Fable, I'm very curious about, looked really good for a first-person game. Hellblade 2 looked amazing, like visually. Still need me to play the first one, very good. And here is Starfield. Still a lot to talk about. Alright. Todd, I need you to blow my mind.
Hey everyone,
yes.
Thank you so much for joining us today and welcome to Bethesda Game Studios. You know, we've been so lucky over the decades to make the kind of games that we love here, and that's thanks to all of you. From the Elder Scrolls to Fallout, we love creating these worlds and playing in them just as much as you do. And throughout all that time, we'd often talk about and dream up the space game. What if we could take that feeling of being who you want to be and exploring a new world, but set it in space, where you weren't really limited in where you could go or what you could do? And that is Starfield. Obviously, we've come a long way since
It's
then.
so ambitious.
With the games we've built, our technology, and all of us here in the studio, we've done so much together, but, well, we've never tried to make a game like this. Today, you'll get to hear from many on the team and see so much that we think makes our game special. So let's jump in and take a look.
All right, this is what we need.
Starfield is our first new universe in over 25 years, but it's still a Bethesda RPG through and through, where you step into a new world and you get that feeling of unlimited possibilities. But this time, it's not just one world. It's over 1,000 worlds. Because the choice of where to go, it's not ours, it's yours. And it wasn't until now that we had the technology to create it.
Yeah, they've talked about that before.
From the rocks at your feet, to the mountains in the distance, to the people and creatures that live in these worlds. That isn't just a backdrop. That moon is actually there orbiting the planet. Yes, you can visit it too. We realistically simulate the galaxy around you. Our next generation lighting model uses real-time global illumination to light the world based on the type of star and the makeup of the planet's atmosphere. We also have an all-new animation system.
Yes. Let's see some of that.
You can play it in third person, and you can play it in first person.
Animations massively improved already from Fallout.
We love exploration and rewarding it, but you do explore differently in this game given its scale. That usually involves exploring an area you've landed in. You can collect resources, do a mission, and maybe even stumble upon something unexpected.
Oh shit, alright. Hit reactions, that's good. That's something what people was a bit worried about after the first showcase. Fallout 4 loot menu.
We do love stuff and all of the items allowing you to pick everything up.
We've seen a lot of
You can view
this.
all that in your data menu. This is the hub for everything you're doing, from your skills to your ship, your missions, and your inventory. We love to pack a ton of detail in every object, from all of your weapons, to spacesuits, to food. We just obsess over the details, and food. We obsess over food. When you're done exploring, you can walk back or fast travel to your ship. We have companions and crew you can take with you, I left Vasco here back at my ship.
Welcome back, Captain Howard.
And he can even say your name.
Oh, we got the Codsworth name thing. I think that was speculated by some people that Vasco would do that.
Our mission was to convey the wonder and majesty of space exploration, to evoke the romance of the golden age of early spaceflight. And we've been referring to this approach as NASA Punk. This means a design language where the tech is advanced, yet still looks grounded and relatable.
For us, it's that contrast. That's where the visual interest is. Obviously the NASA, which is the rigid, hard function over style, and then Punk, which is all about style.
You can see that visual style coming through in your ship. Your ship is your home for you and your crew. And like many of the
really
spaces
like
in
the
that
style
game, it has a slightly
for the
retro
ships.
and analog touch. A bit of lo-fi rather than sci-fi, where everything is well used, worn, and lived in.
Alrighty. What's the plan, Captain?
This is your star map. It starts with the planet you're currently on. You can see all of its info and resources. You can choose a landing spot or fast travel to known locations. Backing out further, you can view all the planets in the system. Obviously, the game is big, and it's here you can see planets that have key locations, missions, or life on them, versus the many planets that are barren but resource heavy. Zoom out even further to see all the systems in this part of the galaxy. Here, you can plot a course to ones that are light years away. This uses your ship's grav drive to fold space and jump to these systems. And you will need to upgrade your ship and skills if you want to jump to the most distant ones. But for now, we'll plot a course to the Alpha Centauri system, where we can find the city of New Atlantis.
Alright. We saw a bit of New Atlantis in the first trailer, as well as the one that we just got in the Xbox event. And I think some of the complaints had been that it was a little muted in colors the first time around. But I think it looked a little better this time around. No contraband on ship. That's interesting. Alright, let's get a look at it again.
As soon as you land in a city like New Atlantis, your eyes are guided upwards to
Definitely feels more vibrant than the first time.
It's the biggest city we've ever made, not just in size, but also in the amount of custom art, crowds, and quests.
So the main focus when we're designing a city is obviously what supports the story. We try and tell as many small stories as possible.
This is a Colony War memorial.
It's a few moments of gameplay that make the space feel like it's full of real characters that are going about their day-to-day lives.
It's paralyzing if you really stop and think about it.
Buddy, it's coffee.
It's also where your adventure with Constellation begins. Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about.
By the time you meet them, Constellation is sort of seen as this mythical group. Most people don't even know they exist anymore. They're the last true explorers in the galaxy, and they're trying to find the answers to some of humanity's biggest questions.
The artifacts are so different, so alien, and I'm certain one of them reached out and spoke to you.
I think I'm gonna go through this again and like pause
The
and
artifact,
get into more
if you
detail.
could place it on the table here.
Oh my god, look at how it's coming together.
That means there's a set built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
It's definitely an eclectic cast of characters. You've got Sarah Morgan, the ex-soldier and adventurer, now Constellation's leader. Mateo, the theologian who believes that there's definitely something else out there. Noel, the gifted scientist and Sarah Morgan's protege. And Walter, a very successful businessman in the settled systems and Constellation's financier.
Anything goes as long as you have the money.
There's also Vlad, the ex-pirate, Sam Coe, the former space cowboy, and Barrett.
You know what I hate about these pirates? Completely resistant to my otherwise irresistible charm.
It looks a little different.
The journey you take with Constellation is just the first of many you'll embark on. The Settled Systems is home to all kinds of different stories, people, and adventures for you to uncover.
And horror. And back.
The United Colonies is where you'll find New Atlantis, the first major human settlement in space. The people who live here value law, discipline, and the legacy of humanity. They consider themselves the true children of Earth.
You ever think of joining up with the Vanguard? Help the United Colonies, even get your UC citizenship?
New Atlantis isn't the only city within the United Colonies. The city of Sidonia on Mars to this day serves as the largest mining facility for the United Colonies. Beyond the United Colonies' reach, you might find yourself in a much more wild and independent coalition of star systems. This is Freestar Collective Space. The capital of the Freestar Collective is Aquila City.
The Stone Root Inn is an Aquila City fixture.
A ranger relies on judgment and intuition to do what's best for the people.
Neon started out as a fishing platform, but is now known throughout the settled systems as a pleasure city, where almost anything goes.
If you've got morality issues, this definitely isn't the job for you.
Ryujin is hiring the best and brightest of today for our future tomorrow.
Everyone has been chewed up and ground up by Neon. Try not to get yourself killed, all right?
Outside the bounds of civilized space, there are still plenty of unclaimed systems to explore, but these areas are also home to the most hostile factions in the galaxy.
The Crimson Fleet. Right? Something else.
Shall be made dust in time.
Oh no, that's not at all.
A new face. This is the face of a brave runner here to challenge the Red Mile.
Some new factions. Nice.
The galaxy is theirs.
Alright, this is the Crimson
wrong.
Fleet.
It belongs to the Crimson Fleet. It always has.
In Starfield, we're pushing our cities and settlements further than we ever have before. It's all there, waiting for you. A slice of humanity's future.
So, ready to get out there?
Yes. I still have to wait a few months.
Throughout the galaxy, there are so many things to see and stories to experience. But the most important story is the one that you tell.
Yes.
I'm the type of person who spends hours in character creation, and I think people are going to be really excited when they see all of the improvements we've made.
Yes, show us some more.
The biggest overhauls was done through our character generation system. We scanned a wide range of faces from different age groups and ethnicities, and by mixing and matching out that data, we were able to create highly detailed and diverse characters.
We use that exact system to create all of the characters and NPCs you're going to see in the game. So any character you see almost always is a character you could make yourself.
Hey, come on, come on. Okay, take it easy. You were out cold. No physical damage. Mentally, the jury's still out. You know who you are?
Oh, this is the very New Vegas like.
Any of this
Yeah.
look familiar?
Do you look like this? Yes. Alright.
You
Nice.
start your
That's a
character
good
creation
intro.
journey as though you're cycling through employee records. You'll pick from a lineup of 40 presets, and that'll be your starting point. Your journey from there can be as detailed or as quick as you want it to be. This new system has more to offer than ever before.
It's also the simplest character generation.
Right,
system
it's also
ever had. We let the
sculpting.
player get as close as possible to make whatever they want. With the
That's really good.
various facial morphs you can blend together, the dermesthetic and makeup, blemishes, scars, piercings, teeth settings. It's a lot, but I think it's the most fun to use.
Character creation is more than just how you look. This is also where you start to decide who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. Backgrounds give you a bit of backstory and start you out with 3 basic skills.
From chef to Dusty. You know, the crew still has a betting pool about which restaurant critic you must have crossed to wind up here.
What's great about backgrounds is you never know when yours is going to come in handy. You could be in the middle of a fancy restaurant, talking to some guy, and suddenly you learn he needs a beast hunter to help track down a monster.
Fine.
That's really cool.
Probably should stick to professionals anyway.
I like that a lot.
The last time.
We're also giving you the option to customize your build even further by letting you pick up to 3 traits.
Traits, yeah.
Traits are completely optional.
I want hero worshipped. That's the one with the adoring fan.
You could choose some
yes.
your biggest fan.
Yes. Oh, we get to see him. It is the adoring.
Is it really?
It's the guy.
Join your crew,
the voice actor.
Gifts,
oh my god.
With this constant commentary.
Game of the year. Game of the year.
Breathing the same air.
He's here. Oh dear. Bayasura, Bayasura, Bayasura.
You have to pay some credits to support your parents, but they're very sweet, and it's really fun to go visit them.
Honey, we got ourselves a visitor.
Oh my god.
I came across some hostile zealots in space.
This is amazing.
Because I had chosen a trait that made me the same religion as them, I was able to get by without any issues.
There's another great one that gives you a damage buff when your health is low, but mercenaries will randomly show up and try to kill you.
I like that a lot too. I want all of them.
There will be plenty of ways for you to tell your story. And if you want to remove a trait, there are ways to do that too.
What a view.
Yes.
It's a feast for the eyes. Off we go.
Throw him over the edge. Yes.
We'll let you discover that on your own.
Oh, I've been doing that since Oblivion. I already know what to do. Alright, that was amazing. That was so good.
Once you've built the perfect character, that's when your journey can really begin. We took what we loved about skills and perks from our previous games and put them together to create an all-new skill system. Each time you level up, you get a skill point, which can be used to unlock or rank up skills. Ranks are unlocked by completing challenges associated with that skill. Challenges become increasingly difficult as you work your way to higher ranks. With our 5 different skill trees and 4 ranks per skill, there's a lot to choose from.
I like the Xenosociology skill because it lets you mind control aliens.
Oh.
Boost pack out of the gate. I'm boost packing everywhere.
Oh, so that's a skill.
I like maxing out my physical tree so I can get neuro strikes and just punch my way through combat. That one's a lot of fun.
Invest in the skills that suit your playstyle.
I'm very much a stealth player. So, I'm out there pickpocketing everyone. My favorite part about being stealthy is slowly creeping through vents like you're in a movie, and then jumping out and stepping on people.
Whenever possible, I like to talk my way through
that's
situations.
really nice.
This area's off limits.
Kind of like Deus Ex and stuff.
Fine, I'll issue you an access card.
I'm more of a run and gun player. I like doing a death from above thing where I boost pack over guys and I throw landmines at them.
This just looks like a lot of fun.
I like blowing stuff up.
Yeah, same. People talked about this looking a lot like Fallout 4's combat, which it does, but I feel like they've improved and added new things in just enough places that it certainly feels more interesting.
Exploration
It might just be
is
me
a
though.
key aspect of all our games. In Starfield, there are full star systems with
Yeah,
new
this
life,
I'm very excited to hear
resources,
about.
and adventures. Our team worked hard to strike a balance between fun and realism. We studied data from NASA and a multitude of other sources to help us make the world feel believable. From the way we approached planetary atmospheres to the way we placed biomes based on the planet's distance from the sun. Once we had created a grounded world, we could start looking at all the things that make that world fun. When you leave a planet and head into space, you'll be navigating asteroid fields, having chance meetings with interesting strangers, dogfighting in space, and exploring derelict ships.
Yes.
It's all out there. Ultimately, it's about rewarding your curiosity, because whether it's on the surface of a planet, the alleys of a city, or the vastness of space, you never know what you'll find.
Oh my god, I'm gonna play this game for so long.
Space exploration is possible thanks to your ship. Your ship is almost like having another character or home you can make all your own. I think you'll be blown away by the amount of stuff you can do. You can buy a ship.
I'm sure you can find something you like.
Customize and upgrade that ship.
Oh.
And hire
Some
a crew
cargo
to keep
stuff.
it up and running. And it all starts in spaceports. Every spaceport has a ship technician where you can purchase, sell, and modify ships.
Anything I can help you with?
Maybe you start off with a speedy fighter that's perfect for bounty hunting. Then you might round out your ship roster with a hulking space freighter to run cargo missions, or even do a little smuggling. For now, though, we're going to take our starting ship, the Frontier, and make some changes.
Yes, let's see it.
You can customize and upgrade everything you see here. And you have two ways to do that.
God.
You can quickly upgrade individual systems.
This is gonna
like
take
your weapons and
hours.
Shields, or you can deep dive and enter the shipbuilder mode. Here you can change anything, from the systems to the look and layout. Adding a new habitat module can give you more room for crew. Adding cowling can change your ship's overall silhouette. An improved grav drive allows for longer distance space jumps. You can even fully customize your paint job to get the exact look you want. The parts you choose to build with don't just affect your ship's stats. They'll also affect what you can do inside your ship.
Yes.
You can have modules for crafting, or for storing and displaying your weapons. Starfield's in-game ship manufacturers bring their own look and feel to every piece of your ship. From living quarters to cargo holds, mess halls, and control rooms. Our modified Frontier is a practical ship, but with a little creativity, your ship can look like almost anything you want.
It's a bit odd, but one of my favorite ways of customizing ships is I make them look like animals. The HMS Platypus, as I called it, where it had like a giant tail to it. And we've done spiders, we've done mechs. So it's
What's
really
going on?
whatever your imagination
Or
is.
that's that allows for much more than I imagined. What is that?
You're probably not the only person.
Just some ship T-posing at you on the way. That's scary as hell.
Ready to lift off when you are, Captain.
Engines ready.
The Frontier is fueled and ready, Captain.
Some of the members of Constellation can join you on your journey. These companions can serve on your crew, and they'll always be there when you travel.
We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry.
This lighting makes the characters look really
Each
good.
companion comes with their own valuable skills for your ships and outposts, as well as unique quest lines. Eventually, some friendships might blossom into romance.
I don't know that I've ever really loved anyone except you.
And if you're looking for a little extra help on your ship, you can always hire additional crew at spaceports.
Got any room on your ship for someone like me?
You'll also meet potential crew members out in the world.
Still think there might be a spot for me on your ship?
This is great.
Off this rock.
Assign crew to your ship or outposts, and their unique skills will affect how they run. And just like
That's
companions,
pretty much
most
exactly
crew
what I
members
wanted.
lend a hand in the field. Take Bosco, for instance.
These designed around the core basics of a NASA machine.
Please avoid getting shot. You might die.
I still wanted to give it almost a humanoid personality, so I elongated the limbs. This tends to make him feel more human-like and give him a little personality.
It is a shame exploration requires so much bloodshed.
Using the shipbuilding tools and crew selection features in Starfield, you'll be able to build and captain the ship of your dreams. And now, let's take to the sky.
I want to see the big mech T-posing fight. I want to see some space combat with that. I might have to wait until the game actually comes out so I can do it myself. It's really cool with the asteroids.
In the cockpit of your very own spaceship, and telling you that you can do pretty much anything. And that is really cool for us as developers. Spaceflight should be exciting and dangerous, and you should feel like you're in complete control every step of the way.
Can I step out of the cockpit as we are flying?
It's not about just hitting your triggers to fire your weapons. It's a complex dance between your piloting skills and our power allocation system. Boosting power to your engines will make your ship faster. Powering up the grav drives will shorten the amount of time it takes before you can make a jump.
That's really good too.
Power to your weapons and shields means you're ready for a fight. You should always be on your toes because you're not alone out there.
Shoot him!
Unlocking the targeting control system skill will allow you to zero in on specific subsystems of the ship you target.
Oh, that's really nice as well. This is very in-depth. Like, obviously there are games that are more in-depth than this, but for like a part of a Bethesda game,
you can loot the remains from your cockpit.
this seems pretty good.
You can always turn any ship
Like, more than I imagined. I'd really like to see them board. Board the ship? Yes! This I've been really curious about. It's like a mini dungeon, essentially. I mean,
once you've taken control of an enemy ship, it's yours. Add it to your fleet and retrieve it at any spaceport.
that's a lot of different
But
ships.
space is way more than fighting for your life. Just like when you're planetside, there are plenty of sights to see and stops to make on the way to your next adventure. Like these massive star yards. Walk the halls, talk to the crew, maybe get talked into buying a whole new ship.
A civilian in my star yard. Let's see about getting you a proper ship, one worthy of you.
Maybe you'll dock with a gigantic battleship, like the UC Vigilance.
Can I attack that ship, though?
Or rub elbows with the galaxy's wealthy elite on a cruise ship fit for the stars. There are plenty of personal encounters to be had as well. You can hail any ship you come across to trade, swap info, or maybe even commit an act of piracy.
Let's do this.
When I'm playing, I generally go crazy. I definitely go like the more piracy routes. I want to take over ships. I'm going to board ships. I'm like, this is now mine. I steal all the sandwiches and put them, in my cargo hold that I have specifically for sandwiches. I don't want to play the hero, but I want to go out and just start taking things from people as quickly as possible.
Some strangers might be looking for a little human connection in the darkness of space.
Hello, stranger. I just finished cooking up some food. If you want to come on over, just pop
Oh, she's gonna murder the
Some
player.
of the best moments are the ones you discover on your own. The thing I love most about Starfield is that it is a Bethesda game through and through. It's really about going to strange new places, meeting interesting people, and getting sidetracked on zany adventures. Then, realizing 2 hours later that you're involved in a completely new story.
You're human. We thought we were the only ones to leave Earth.
That DNA is so present here. It's in our random encounters, it's in our handcrafted quests, and it feels so cool to play it and just make your own path in this universe.
There are over 1,000 planets out there, just waiting for you to visit. We want you to feel like explorers.
So much to do.
Around on new planets, exploring every inch of a mostly untouched galaxy. We want you to feel hopeful. We want you to feel this sense of awe and wonder. And sometimes a little fear.
Holy.
We're giving you a massive playground and a ton of toys, and just setting you free.
Hey everybody, we've shown you so much stuff, but we thought we'd just take a little break and show you something a little bit different. You know, we put so much detail into our game worlds, and we love the opportunity to bring that into the real world with our collector's editions.
Oh.
And for this game, we've done a watch. It is the Constellation Explorer's Watch. This is the watch that you actually get in the game that acts as part of your HUD, where it's the compass and then environmental information. It connects to your phone to give you notifications and other information, and we've also designed this really cool case that it comes with, Istvan.
Yeah, we really took as much care in designing this case as we did the watch. Our attention to detail in the game totally translates to this. Inspired by the cases that the astronauts used during the Apollo era to bring back samples from the moon. It's got an intricate locking mechanism, authentic, heavy, comes with a Constellation patch, NATO strap, and the overall functionality and believability of this as something that would exist in the world, in the Starfield universe.
Oh, and hey, take this. You'll find it very useful out there, and it even tells the time.
We actually have something else. Now that we're part of Xbox, we get to work with the amazing people on the Xbox hardware team, and together we have created this custom limited edition.
So we've seen that. That's been leaked. That as well as a headset, I believe.
We love this because it's inspired by the actual controls of your spaceship. And not only that,
It looked really nice.
we've created
Yes,
the first
and
ever
then that one.
custom headset with Xbox. And this is a perfect pairing with that controller.
I mean, if I did play on console, I would probably get that controller, to be honest. It looks really nice. I like the lines.
Every one of our games, we always put so much care into all those little details that breathe life into our worlds. But Starfield isn't just a Bethesda Game Studios world, it's a Bethesda Game Studios galaxy. So why go this big with Starfield? Because we want to give you freedom on a galactic level. The freedom to experience both the exciting planets and the quiet ones. Scanning a planet before you land is a great way to get a sneak peek at the available resources you can use for crafting, building, and customizing.
I think what's cool about this whole system that we generate the planet itself as a procedural content, but the handcrafted content itself comes as the player explore. Our system builds a planet as the player approaches it. We stitch together a block of terrain. After that, we have the system that adds interesting locations for the player to explore, creatures to encounter, ore and plants to pick up. It allows us to add that touch of environmental storytelling that Bethesda is known for.
Aggressive creatures have been disrupting our experiments. Their habitat isn't far from here. If you could take care of them for us...
This is a Radiant quest.
So even if your friends were to visit the same planet that you had, you would have a different story to tell.
Right, that's interesting. I mean, we knew the Radiant quests were going to be more involved with making like locations and stuff. But yeah, it seems like there will be quite a difference. between players. Which can be good and bad, depending on how well it's executed.
It's completely up to you.
Legendary
how you want
items.
to interact with each planet. Whether you want to explore and see what you can find, harvest resources and be on your way.
It looks really nice, like
Or
visually.
simply take in the views. With the help of your scanner, you'll chart the uncharted and discover exotic wildlife.
If you have the skills, you can even figure out that certain creatures and plants, you can build an outpost and produce resources from those plants and animals. You can get experience and rewards for fully surveying planets and fully surveying a whole system.
When we were concepting these creatures, we really wanted to think of them as natural to the environment. We didn't want alien monsters, we wanted native wildlife. Something you've never seen before.
When it comes to our exteriors, when the sun moves, all that light is calculated in real time through the atmosphere. Our biggest goal for lighting with Starfield was to make the game feel more filmic, to use lighting and color to really make it feel more cinematic.
Definitely feels like it. That looks great. The cave. Like the fog and all this. It definitely feels more like atmospheric than Skyrim and Fallout. Like with the fog and
After some
where the light
exploring,
shines
you can find
through.
a spot to set up a base camp.
Curious about seeing
Outposts
more
can
of
be built
this.
almost anywhere on any planet. And the habitat modules come in all shapes and sizes, filling all different purposes. You can even live in them. Assign crew and companions to work at your outposts for added bonuses and set up extractors to harvest resources while you're away.
Something cool we have this time is we have a new fly cam where you can toggle between on-foot building, or you can now use a top-down isometric camera, which helps plan out larger parts of the outpost and placing those larger halves.
That's really
That way you
nice.
can
That
really
was
plan your
quite
structures
problematic
and
in
what the
Fallout
overall
4
feel of
without
the outpost
mods
is.
when
And then
you
when you're
wanted
on
to
your
build
feet,
like
you
bigger
can really
things.
decorate and fine-tune things much easier.
Nice. There might not be any like small individual, like you can't customize the interiors necessarily, I don't think. Well, maybe you can.
Add crafting and research stations in your
I'm a little
outposts
curious
to
about that.
utilize any resources you find or already have.
Mod your weapons to adapt them to your playstyle. Different weapon sights and scopes, larger magazines, a selection of grips and barrels, different ammunition like
This is great.
explosive rounds.
That was a great feature in Fallout 4, and
All the
I'm
stealth
glad
players
they
out there will
continue
surely
that sort of
need a suppressor.
modular thing.
You can also choose to go hands-on with melee weapons.
I think it's always a delicate balance between like what's realistic, what's sim, and what's Hollywood. And I think we sort of err on the
These
side of
environments.
what's fun for the player.
With Starfield, we've completely overhauled our combat. It's more dynamic, the animations are more fluid. It just feels great.
We probably have more mods and more weapons in this game than I want to say any other game we've done before. There's a lot of variety.
Upgraded gear is just one of the many factors to pay attention to when engaging in combat. You may need to switch things up based on your environment. Gravity is different for each planet, and boost packs are excellent for getting around. And for giving you an edge in combat. Sometimes you'll even feel like you're flying. Zero-gravity environments pose a different challenge. Firing a ballistic weapon in zero-G will actually push you
So
backwards.
much shit. Like, we've seen like tastes of these things before, but
Stable shooting experience.
seeing it more in depth is kind of
We
crazy,
also have
to be
mag
honest.
weapons. These are high-powered electromagnetic induction ballistic arrays. Each barrel has its own targeting laser and can dish out some serious damage.
This is the Fallout mine
You want to get
sound.
up close and personal with your own two fists, or you like more compact weapons like pistols and submachine guns, or maybe you prefer something bigger.
I really want to play like a space,
Starfield's got you covered.
like a bounty hunter kind of character. A classic revolver. Speaking of revolver, that looks like it's a break open. The animations look so much better in this demo than it did the first one. That's so exciting. I feel like I've said that 30,000 times in this demo. Like, that's exciting, but it really is. I haven't been bummed about anything. What? Is this the power? No more than that, right?
Today, we are just so grateful that you've taken the time and spent it here. I know
Thank you,
there's probably a lot
Todd.
to take in. There's a lot to the game, even more than we could show here. You know, as we play it, we're always sharing these unique and special moments that only a game like this can bring. When I think about what makes it special, it really is the people here. This game is a reflection of the incredible and passionate team that made it. All of them putting something special of themselves into it. So let's hear some of their favorite moments.
I love the way that our final combination of all the new tech has come together to create some of the most beautiful sunsets and sunrises we've ever had in any of our games.
I love the creatures, the exploration, every biome is different. The
Whoa.
word that comes to mind is vast.
I like to use our photo mode to take rock star photos.
I just love that constant feel of discovery and wow, I can't believe that there's more here.
I'm most excited about our outpost building systems.
My favorite part is every time you step out on a planet, it's a unique experience.
You spend all this time building your ship, and you see it on the landing pad. These things are gigantic. It's the kind of thing that you just can't get anywhere else.
There's something about seeing a tower over in the distance and going, I know the gravity's low here. I think I can make that jump.
My favorite part is biomes, spaceships,
Audio design,
planets,
The day-night cycle,
Those details matter to me.
diplomacy, exploration, freedom.
the ending.
backup, obviously.
I love the robot so much.
The incredible amount of worlds we created.
Sniper rifles, come on.
Lever action, rocket launcher, brain sprout.
Lever action rocket launcher. Alright.
Some people might find creepy. Oh, that's right, Ben.
The thing that I enjoy most about the game is the freedom to be who you want to be. Do
This
what you
is
wanna
like
do.
the beach. We saw that once
It's
before.
really
That's
come
not
to
something I
expect
imagined
from
I
a
would see in
Bethesda
this game,
title,
to be
but
honest.
on a much bigger scale.
On behalf of all of us, we can't wait for you to play Starfield and make your own special moments.
So much to go through. Once again, the American date system fucks me up. It could have been out now. That case and the watch looks really nice. I'm not much one for like those collector's editions. Alright, I guess this is just an outro to the whole thing. I'm still so curious about what the hell is going on with Fable, because that trailer, I was very excited to see more, but they like brought it into the modern day, but also kept it fantasy? I'm not sure how they're gonna pull that off. I really want it to be good. I love Fable. All right. Well, that was a lot to go through, to be honest. All right. So, just to get through, because I definitely want to... Oh, this is just autoplay. Let us go here. I have some completely unrelated art in the background, but that's what I have right now. I definitely want to go through some Starfield stuff. Once again. First... Alright, what did I write down? So there's Fable. As I've said a few times now, I'm really interested in what they're going to do there. It looked different, let's say. I'm pretty excited for it. Still. But it's a very different take than I thought they were going to use. Because it looked like... No, I don't have the trailer pulled up or anything, but... Actually, I can find it. Just move this for a second, and... Let us go back to this. So here...
What do I think about heroes? Well...
So this is... What's his name? Richard something. Richard... Oh, you what? I'm gonna butcher that last name. His name is Richard. Because this is like... This looks really good. I feel like this fits the style of Fable, but more modern.
On a day-to-day basis, I'd say the true hero is me, someone who's breaking new ground with fruit, with veg, on the agricultural side of things. Not wafting around mythical creatures.
And him being there is a good sign, I'd say, because like Fable is British, like very, like just in its style. So they need to keep to that.
Let's face it, the age of heroes is over. This is the age of innovation. This, if you will, is the age of death.
But like this is, I'm not sure if this is just a trailer thing, or if this is actually like a gameplay thing.
This is awkward.
Yeah.
But I could swear they said something about like, I mean, it looks like a gameplay thing. They said something about bringing it. I mean, I suppose bringing it to the modern day could also just be, it's a new game. He's not in a modern setting, but it still looks a little strange, unless she's a pixie or something. Yes, so that is curious. That's very curious. The next thing I'd want to talk about is a Star Wars thing, which looks quite cool. I mean, it's cinematic, but it's the Ubisoft game, which I think is the one that's supposed to be like an open world experience, which sounds good. I am a fan of Star Wars in the same way that a lot of people are fans of Star Wars. We hold on to the hope that once in a while a good new Star Wars thing is going to come out, but that's not always the reality. But hope is always there. Payday looks like a lot of chaotic fun, like just looks like they boosted the chaos. Which is, I mean, that's fine. And then I was curious about Avowed. Was this it? Yes. So this looks really cool. I don't know. Is it first person only? I mean, I don't mind that, because I prefer it. But some of the animations from, like, I love a kick. That's such a simple thing. But ever since I played Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, I love a good kick. Magic looks really cool. And it looks like pretty decent, like, weapon animations. The biggest thing in first person, like combat-wise, is you want it to feel like you're actually hitting something. Which is something that, for Skyrim, for example, doesn't really work, but that looks good.
What are you gonna do with it?
I was very interested in this game on account of it being Obsidian, fantasy, and from what I understand, a AAA game, because the Outer Worlds was just, it wasn't like full, it was AA. But after watching it, I am not only curious, I am excited. The whole flight simulator thing, it's not something I thought I'd even be looking at with any sort of interest. It's very interesting. They're pulling off all these different activities. It seems like it might be a fun game. I mean, it's beautiful, but it already was. And then they got the Dune thing. So I am excited to see how that's going to work out. And then there's a lot of stuff. It's not that I want to skip the whole thing. I feel like there was so much Starfield. And that's what I really want to have a look at.
Hunted for
So here's the first trailer.
The wonder is not that the field of stars is so vast.
Which is mostly like a glamorous shot trailer, which is fine. They did the deep dive as well. But it looks really nice. There were a few singular shots with some characters. I don't remember if that was this trailer or the next one, where the lighting looked a bit strange on them. But there were other shots where the lighting really enhanced the characters. So it looks a bit situational. But overall, the lighting is very nice. Like this, the caves. We've seen a few shots of those. And this, as I talked about, is more saturated, which is what people wanted.
We do not fully understand all that is at work here.
No finer group in the stars to be unraveling this mystery.
I'll follow you from here on out, Captain.
Grab jump is ready. I love this part.
There's a lot of details that can be scanned.
Everything we've been looking for. Another great secret the universe is asking us to unravel.
They didn't give us a lot of new story, which I think is good. Some would say we've already been given too much, to be honest. I think we're fine, but I'm glad they didn't go too in-depth. Space combat looks a lot cooler than I actually expected.
This is where we belong.
Yes. Love the logo. And I think we're just going to skip along then. Here's the Starfield Direct. I'm not going to watch the whole thing again necessarily, but I do want to get some of the gameplay bits.
In over 25 years, but it's still a Bethesda
So we're gonna skip the talking bits probably.
into a new world, and you get that feeling of unlimited possibilities.
It feels wrong to talk over Todd, but I feel like I have to.
It's over 1,000 worlds. Because the choice of where to go, it's not ours.
The variety in these are really nice.
And it wasn't until now.
Like we got a view of some of the more alien worlds. Like this is like halfway there. This is fairly normal snowy planet. Certainly later we saw some very colorful, very strange worlds, which is great.
That isn't just a backdrop. That moon is actually there orbiting the planet. Yes, you can visit it too. We realistically simulate the galaxy around you. Our next generation lighting model uses real-time global illumination to light the world based on the type of star
That really shows.
of the planet's atmosphere.
Like the lighting is a huge improvement.
Have an all-new animation system.
And so is the animations. Like I recall this run,
You can play it in third person,
and just the
and you can play it in first
sort of
person.
easing between animations are just a lot better than Fallout.
We love exploration and rewarding it, but you do explore differently in this game given its scale. That usually involves exploring an area you've landed in. You can collect resources,
So this is pretty standard. This is
do a mission, and
what made a lot of people call it No Man's Skyrim the first time around, which, I mean, yeah, it's resource gathering on planets with a mining laser. But I feel like the context of why you're doing those things are what's going to set it apart. I feel like this bit of combat. This is when I originally said, and that still holds true, that it feels like Fallout 4 combat, but with a lot of new interesting things added to make it more feel more dynamic and more interesting. But I feel like they showcase that even better later. Like honestly, in the later combat section, it didn't feel all that much like Fallout. It felt much more modern. Let's see some of those weapons actually.
Your data menu. This is the hub for everything you're doing, from your skills to your ship, your missions, and your inventory.
I think this is one of the pistols we saw before, which is, I think it looks really cool design-wise. Lots of small details. I think we've seen this submachine gun, which is also an interesting design. I can't even... Oh, the magazine is on top, right. Some of these are so fast. I can't even tell you what this is. It's a rifle, apparently. It says so, yeah. Fire rate, accuracy, mass, max.
Ton of detail.
This is the kind of stuff that I want to get into, because it's more revolvery. I mean, it says pistol. But yeah, mag, 6, classic revolver. Yeah. I mean, I'm interested in all of these, but these catch my attention because I want to play like a Western type outlaw. Another rifle, tombstone. Looks cool.
From all of your weapons to spacesuits.
Spacesuits look nice. These are also very in comparison to obviously it's weird, kind of some of the details of this, but in comparison to Fallout and stuff like that, this looks great. Steak. Toast. Yeah.
When you're done exploring, you can walk back or fast travel to your ship. We have
Grass density looks nice.
I left Vasco here back at my ship.
Welcome back, Captain Howard.
And he can even say your name. Let's head out.
Yeah.
Our mission was to convey the wonder and majesty.
Let's skip around a bit for some of the bigger sections again.
Further, you can view all the planets in the system.
We've seen most of this.
And it's here you can see planets that have key locations, missions,
don't know if we can see.
Versus the many planets that are barren but resource heavy.
They did a scan at some point, but that might be later, which I thought was really nice.
Here you can plot a course to ones that are light years away. This uses your ship's grav drive to fold space and jump.
We've heard Todd Howard talk about this, that yeah, you'll have to upgrade because your ship doesn't run out of fuel, so you don't just stop, but it limits how far you can go at once. No contraband, entering patrolled area, no contraband on ship. Wait for scan. And yeah, maintain your current course. Yeah, that's really promising for if you want to play like a smuggler. The fact that there are systems in place for it. That's very promising. Get to see the landing smoke. It's still slightly low FPS, it looks like. But that's such a minor thing.
To just these boundless, vast buildings. It's the biggest city we've ever made, not just in size, but also in the amount of custom art.
It looks really cool. just in scope. It's probably actually my least favorite city of the ones we've seen. But I think it looks cool.
It's a few moments of gameplay that make the space feel like it's full of real characters that are going about their day-to-day lives. It's paralyzing if you really stop and think about it.
What's going to be interesting is there's no way that these characters are all, like traditionally in Bethesda games, like in cities and stuff, people are all named, they've got their stories, their schedules. There's no way all those NPCs are. So they might be either commoner, or they're going to have like randomly generated names, but not necessarily have an in-depth story. Regardless, I'm curious about what they're going to do with housing. Because I feel like a Bethesda game needs that schedule. Like wake up, then go around the market, go there, go to work, go home, sleep. But I don't know how they're going to necessarily do that with that many people.
Built by an intelligence outside the settled systems. It's definitely an eclectic cast of characters.
So this, we get the introduction to the characters here, like some of the Constellation characters. Which is fine. Characters look quite cool.
You know what I hate about these pirates? Completely resistant to my otherwise irresistible charm.
The journey you take with Constellation is just the first of many you'll embark on. The Settled Systems is home to all kinds of different stories, people, and adventures for you to uncover.
See, like these like colorful plants, clear like large amounts of alien life. That's nice to see.
The United Colonies is where you'll find New Atlantis, the first major human settlement in space.
I think this is where we go over some.
The true children of Earth.
You ever think of joining up with the Vanguard? Help the United Colonies?
Right. So this is one of the. Like when I saw this initially, the lighting is fine. Like his hair looks good. His facial hair looks a little too dark. It's probably fine. It loses detail, but that might just be the video.
New Atlantis isn't the only city within the United Colonies. The city of Sidonia on Mars to this day serves
This
as
looks
the
cool.
largest mining facility for the United Colonies.
In 11 hours without incident. Bet money there's going to be a quest in which we cause incident. And it's going to reset. Or it's going to reset if we just shoot someone in the head. I mean, that's an incident. Go back on that. This is... Like, as someone who wants to... Like, this is clearly catered to exactly the kind of character I wanted to play the first time. Like a Western space cowboy bounty hunter. This feels like very cool. Shepherds. I've just played Mass Effect.
The capital of the Freestar Collective is Aquila City.
We've got some spice. We've got an info desk. Probably usable to get some information. Directions.
The Stone Root Inn is an Aquila City fixture.
Saloon. Yeah.
A ranger relies on judgment and intuition.
This is very cool.
Neon started out as a fishing platform.
Neon also looks super cool. It reminds me of like the more futuristic side of things, like more cyberpunky. It reminds me a bit of the Outer Worlds. And some Deus Ex vibes as well, to be honest.
Systems as a pleasure city where almost anything goes.
If you've got morality issues, this definitely isn't the job for you.
This character looks cool. Like, and the lighting is great. This is one of the better looking ones. So it's a bit like, sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not as great, but it's not like distractingly bad. Talking about distracting. What is this? What club is this? And when can I go?
Everyone has been chewed up and ground up by Neon. Try not to get yourself killed, alright?
It's cool.
Outside the bounds of civilized space, there are still
Well, Shen, very interested in the quests because he is the quest designer.
factions in the galaxy.
The great serpent hungers. All
This is
shall be made dust.
some of these factions we've seen, like they've alluded to,
This is the face of a brave runner here to challenge
but
the
this just looks cool. Crimson Fleet we know about. It's one of the major factions. So I'm wondering the other two factions, they showed how large they're going to be, how important they're going to be.
It's all there.
This beach,
Settlements further than we ever have before.
like, that's such a... It totally makes sense. Like, this is around New Atlantis, probably. It just, there's something about it. I didn't expect to see it in the game. It's really nice. It adds to the sort of living world.
Ready to get out there?
Throughout the galaxy, there are so many things to see and stories to experience.
And they're mixing and matching all that.
Get into some character creations. This is what I said as we, like, this is very New Vegas, which I think is good. I went digging around in your noggin a bit, and tell me if I left anything out of place. It's that kind of.
You start your character creation journey as though you're cycling through employee records.
I like the looks of the characters.
Pick from a lineup of 40 presets, and that'll be your starting point.
So this is not new. The body type and walk style. Like, we see, it's nice that it's finally confirmed. People were... I saw some people get excited, very excited, over the walk style, in hopes that we would get, like, walks, like, swagger walk and brutish walk and styles like that. But this pretty much confirms that it is just... Body type is just feminine or masculine, and walk style is the same. Which is nice to have the options to mix and match. This is also... I keep pausing too slow. This is also very good. We haven't seen exactly this before, but it's nice to know that you can be a little more detailed with the... Like, you can actually... Like, it's not direct sculpting, but round, square, thin, wide, for like face, jaw, whatever. It's good to have that instead of just head shape number 1 through 10, or however many there are.
It's also the simplest character generation.
Hairstyles looks pretty good.
We let the player get as close as possible to make whatever they want, with the various facial morphs you can blend together.
Some of the facial hair looks better than others. I like that it's not necessarily full, all of it, but
I think it's the most fun to use.
It looks weird patchy.
Some of it. More than just how you look. This is also where you start to decide who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in.
Backgrounds.
Give you a bit of backstory and start you out with 3 basic skills.
From chef to
We know all this. It's cool to see the... This is cool, though. We see a bit more about the... how it's going to play in minor ways. Which I'm hopeful for, but it's one of the things that Cyberpunk messed up, in my opinion. Like, they talked about it a lot, that it was going to be important, the choice, but it was really just 5 minutes of gameplay, and then a few, like, dialogue lines that didn't, like, it was just for flavor, which is nice. Flavor is good, but... Alright, this is where we get excited. This is the cool stuff. Hold everything for a minute. This is the good stuff. Hero worship. ever since they announced that, I've wanted to play with it. Because it's the adoring fan, it's the best part. Oblivion. Here, I got pretty excited because he's got the spiky yellow hair. Perfect. And then the voice comes in. It's the guy. It's the adoring fan. Like, truly put to life. It's perfect.
I've got to have every molecule.
My favorite.
I want to hear his voice again.
I've got to have every molecule.
Yes. I feel like at this point it's 50-50. Either it's the exact same voice actor in Oblivion. It sounds a lot like it. Otherwise, it is Emmett LaFave from the LaFave Brothers YouTube channel. Which is cool. So, like, this is a weird thing to get excited about. It's obviously like a funny meme thing. But I am excited about it because I feel like it's one of those things where, like, yeah, Bethesda kind of knows what people want. It's a little thing, but people have loved this guy for a meme for forever. I love that they include it. This is another trait I want. I want all of them.
I came across some hostile zealots in space, but because I had chosen a trait that made me the same religion as them, I was able to get by without any issues.
So cool for roleplay.
There's another great one that gives you a damage buff when your health is low, but mercenaries will randomly show up.
I want this as well. I suppose I could work for a bounty hunter.
No matter what you choose, there will be plenty of ways for you.
Like a bounty hunter who was hunted by bounty hunters. Competition in the field. Again, perfect. Snowy mountain, take him up on the top, shoot him. That's Oblivion. That's what everyone does. That mask looked really cool. This is, yeah, look. I want this. More traditional. But everything fits into the art style, which is really good.
To unlock or rank up skills.
Some more skills. Advanced, expert, master. Spend a digit to eliminate keys that aren't required to solve the puzzle. Alright.
Ranks are unlocked by completing challenges associated with that skill. Challenges become increasingly difficult as you work your way to higher ranks.
Yeah. Nice.
With our 5 different skill trees and 4 ranks per skill, there's a lot to choose from.
I like the xenosociology skill because it lets you mind control aliens.
This is like... It's not something that isn't in Skyrim and Fallout. It's nice to have. Interesting, I don't know if they actually showed the skill. Boost pack. Boost pack train. I'm surprised that it is a skill. I thought that was just gonna be like you buy like an upgrade, perhaps. Or something you buy.
Physical tree so I can get neuro strikes and just punch my way through combat.
The melee looks decent. Like, it looks like Fallout 4 again, which isn't necessarily the best thing when it comes to melee, but I feel like to really know we need more connected strikes, as opposed to just like one shot of him punching, then another shot of him punching again. This is cool. This makes me actually want to play a stealth character.
Whenever possible, I like to talk my way through situations.
It's very Deus Ex or Arcane games, like different approaches. See, this stuff makes the combat just look way more dynamic and way more fun.
I like blowing stuff up.
Like, I feel like I could have fun with a grenade-focused character. I feel like I could have fun with a stealth character. I feel like I could have fun with any kind of character. We'll see. I mean, that's not... Of course, they're going to show off the coolest clips of the trailer, so we'll see if it actually translates like that. But it looks really cool.
Whole star systems with new life, resources, and adventures. Our team worked hard to strike a balance between fun and realism. We studied data from NASA and a multitude of other sources to help us make the world
The
feel
scope of the
believable.
worlds look really nice.
From the way we approached planetary atmospheres to the way we placed
The
biomes
winds, the
based on
dust,
the planet's distance from the sun.
reflections.
Once we had created a grounded world, we could start looking at all the things that make that world fun. When you leave a planet and head into space, you'll be navigating asteroid fields, having chance meetings with interesting strangers, dogfighting in space, and exploring derelict ships.
I like that a lot. Like, that's just such a cool space thing. Like, just coming across that.
Ultimately, it's about rewarding your curiosity, because whether it's on the surface of a planet, the alleys of a city, or the vastness of space,
I want to explore all of
you
it.
never know what you'll find.
Space exploration is possible thanks to your ship. Your ship is almost like having another character or
Alright, we're gonna get the ship customization.
You'll be blown away by the amount of stuff you can do.
I was blown away by that.
You can buy a ship.
Like, we'd seen some customization with the ships, but this is like beyond
Hire a crew to keep it up
insanity.
and running. And it all starts in spaceports. Every spaceport has a ship technician where you can purchase, sell, and modify ships.
Anything I can help you with?
Maybe you start off with a speedy fighter that's perfect for bounty hunting. Then you might round out your ship roster
It's
with a bulky
huge.
space freighter to run cargo missions, or even do a little smuggling. For now, though,
I want to do all of
let's
it.
take our starting ship, the Frontier, and make some changes. You can customize and upgrade everything you see here.
I figure that this is all super cool. I figure the interiors are set like with the modules. So you can pick different modules and the interiors will look different, but it's not like you can go inside and customize the actual interiors, I don't think.
Adding cowling can change your ship's overall silhouette. An improved grav
But I feel like I
drive
could
allows
spend
for
so
longer
much
distance
time
trips.
just doing this.
You can even fully
Like, that's the way I felt when we saw it the
get the
first time.
exact look you want.
Where we did stuff like this, but what they're about to show is like beyond what
What you can do inside your ship,
what I ever
modules for
imagined we could do.
or for storing and displaying your weapons.
More cool weapons,
Starfield's
looks like some
in-game
sniper
ship
rifles.
Manufacturers bring their own look and feel to every piece of your ship. From living quarters to cargo holds, mess halls.
I hope the ship feels as alive as the world does. I like the feeling of coming onto a ship, feeling like my crew, my companions live there. Like the rooms, whatever else.
Almost anything you want.
It's a bit odd, but one of my favorite ways of customizing ships is I make them look like animals. The HMS Platypus, as I called it.
Like this was like, oh, that's actually quite cool. Like, but then this, what's going on? What a bit like this can't be functionally good. It's called dumpster fire. Well, I suppose that's fitting. Dumpster fire. It can't be functionally very good, but I don't know. Get a lot of like, what is this? I want this. I never thought I'd want this. There's something about like shooting like lasers and shit out of the arms.
You're probably not the only person who will call your ship home.
Ready to lift off when you
Love the style.
Engines ready.
The Frontier is fueled and ready.
So yeah, the Constellation members can become crew
Some of the
members.
members of Constellation can join you on your journey. These can companions can serve on your crew.
Companions. So they are the companions.
We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact.
This is the shot in the whole thing that made me like. The lighting on the character in this shot makes it look really good, as opposed to some of the others. The hair, the skin, the reflection in the eyes. Yeah, this looks great.
Or this lead runs dry.
Each companion comes with their own
Different stats: piloting, rifle certification, payloads, geology,
valuable skills for your ships and
starship engineering, particle beam weapon systems, robotics, gastronomy.
outposts, as well as unique quest lines. Eventually, some friendships might blossom into romance.
I don't know that I've ever really loved.
Don't know if are they all the companions.
And if you're looking for a little
Probably
extra
not.
help on your ship, you can always hire additional crew.
You can hire additional crew, but I'm still worried about like, or not worried, but I'm wondering about companions.
You'll also meet potential crew members out in the world.
I figure there will be companions in the faction you join. So maybe you get like a Crimson Fleet companion, like a detail companion. And the others.
Most crew members can lend a hand in the field. Take Bosco, for instance.
He's designed around the core basics of a NASA machine.
Please avoid getting shot. You might die.
I like Vasco.
I still wanted to give it almost a humanoid personality, so I elongated the limbs. This tends to make him feel more human-like and give him a little personality.
It is a shame.
I like the way they've done the personality.
So much bloodshed.
Mixture between robotic and human.
Using the shipbuilding tools and crew selection features in Starfield, you'll be able to build and captain the ship of your dreams.
I wonder how viable it is to just be like solo. Might be required to have Vasco. But just do like a Han Solo, one companion, small. Well, I guess the Millennium Falcon is not small, but comparatively.
We're putting you in the cockpit of your very own spaceship and telling you that you can do pretty much anything. And that is really cool for us as developers. Spaceflight should be exciting and dangerous. And you should feel like you're in complete control every step of the way.
This is really cool as well. I think this is where we get into the combat.
We've extended that sense of control to ship combat.
Yeah.
It's not about just hitting your triggers to fire your weapons.
This is also much more in-depth than I imagined it would be. They said it would be. There would be some systems, but this. So we had already seen the fact that there were all of these. But I don't think we weren't really sure of how much it would come into play, like in actual play. Because it could very well have just been like where you can see, like you've customized your ship and you have this much laser, this ballistic missile, probably engine, shield, grav drive. I'm going to assume that's what this is. But the fact that you can actually allocate power to a single system or these systems and like in combat is really cool.
Powering up the grav drives will shorten the amount of time it takes before you can make a jump.
Like at this point, okay, I can't attack, I can't really move, but I can get the hell out of here if I survive. It's a gamble.
Power to your weapons and shields means you're ready for a fight. You should always
Or just disable the grav drive so you can't escape, but you are staying for this fight. Like maybe, like he set the engine up so you can fly faster. But you can also just like engine fully down so you are stationary, but maybe more combat prowess. That's cool. Like that's for. We've already heard about that. That you could target things, disable ships. But it's good to see how it looks. So just quickly, ballistic guns on the left trigger. Y is missiles. Right trigger is laser weapons. Speed, boost, yeah. Seems pretty standard in controls, at least. Looking at this, it seems pretty simple on console. Like you just use the pad to like left and right, and then up and down, whatever one you have selected. PC though, I am a little. I hope it's going to be easy, and it's not like I have to take my hand off the mouse to like use the numpad or something. We'll see how it works.
Also take a more personal approach by docking with the enemy vessel and boarding their ship.
It was nice to see this actually being done. We knew this could be done. So yeah, I feel like that's just a lot of fun.
Once you've taken control of an enemy ship, it's yours.
Like being sent after some pirate leader, disabling their ship, boarding the ship, and then taking them on in actual combat. I feel like that's just fun.
When you're planet side, there are plenty of sights to see and stops to make on the way to your next adventure. Like these massive star yards.
I've seen structures like this in previous trailers.
Walk the halls, talk to the crew, maybe get
I love the interiors. Demos, it was called. Cool facial tattoo. As I said before, pretty much anything you see you can actually create.
Maybe you'll dock with a gigantic battleship.
That's not necessarily true for all things. The same thing could be said for Fallout and Skyrim, and yet there are individual NPCs that have something unique to them that the player cannot select. But overall, it's good. Let's not forget mods.
With the galaxy's wealthy elite on a cruise ship fit for the stars.
This looks cool. Wonder if this is like a quest or something. And I just played through the Mass Effect trilogy for the first time, which was a lot of fun. It kind of reminds me of, is it in Mass Effect 2, where you go to like a party with Kasumi, like... Yeah, that just gives me that. Maybe it's because I just played it.
There are plenty of personal encounters to be had as well. You can hail any ship you come across to trade, swap info.
Like hailing ships and then just piracy. Asking them questions.
I definitely go like the more
Alright.
route.
She says this woman is crazy. From what we've seen, she's the fun kind of crazy, because she makes a platypus ship and then she goes and robs everyone. I want her on my crew.
I want to take over ships. I'm going to board ships. I'm like, this is now mine. I steal all the sandwiches and put them,
And she steals the sandwiches.
Specifically for sandwiches. I don't want to play the hero, but I want to go out and just start taking things from people as quickly as possible.
Some strangers might
Zero G sandwich.
Human connection in the darkness of space.
Hello, stranger. I just finished cooking up some food. If you want to come on over, just pop on by.
I love that. I feel like that can go both ways. Such like it could be just a nice grandma. Just come get some tea and some biscuits, and we're going to just relax a bit. Or it can be like the worst trap in the world. Like in Red Dead Redemption 2, there's a house you can go to where you're invited in, and then they try to murder you, essentially. And it's like this really creepy, pretty much unmarked thing. I feel like that could go that way.
Some of the best moments are the ones you discover on your own. The thing I love most about Starfield is that it is a Bethesda game through and through.
Yes.
It's really about going to strange new places, meeting interesting people, and getting sidetracked.
The variety is great. Just good old suit, like traditional clothing.
Then realizing 2 hours later that you're involved in a completely new story.
You're human. We thought we were the only ones to leave Earth.
Only wants to leave Earth. That's curious.
It's in our random encounters feels so cool to play it and just make your own path in this universe. There are over 1,000 planets out there, just waiting for you to visit. We want you to feel like explorers, breaking ground on new planets, exploring every inch of a mostly untouched galaxy. We want you to feel hopeful. We want you to feel this sense of awe.
I am hopeful.
And sometimes a little fear.
This looks crazy. How many ships are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7, 8, 9, 10.
We're giving you a massive playground.
That's a lot of ships.
Toys, and just setting you free.
It has so much potential because I've said, like, I've always talked about this. What makes a Bethesda game special is the stories you decide to create, and not always the ones that are made for you. Like the quests are fun, and like, they vary a bit in how well they're made. But the way that you can make your own stories is really like character defining sometimes. And you can play a quest, even in Skyrim, you can play a quest a million different ways just through mindset. Like, why is my character doing this? Like role playing the character. And that's important. And I think this game has the greatest capacity to do that. Potentially. We'll see if they deliver. It looks promising.
Hey everybody, we were showing you so much stuff, but we thought we'd just...
So it's the collector's edition. It's cool.
It connects to your phone to give you notifications and other information, and we've also designed this really cool...
Our attention to detail in the game.
This case is almost almost cooler than the watch, to be honest. I don't really go for these things, but I am interested. I will say. I will admit. Just gonna skip around a bit. Headset, controller.
Planet as the player approaches it, we stitch together a block of terrain. After that, we
This is curious as well.
Big with Starfield.
There's a few things to look at.
We want to give you freedom on a galactic level. The freedom to experience both the exciting planets and the quiet ones.
It's good to have that.
Scanning a planet before you land is a great way to get a sneak peek at the available resources.
This looks nice.
Crafting, building, and
it's perfect that they allowed you to scan the planet to let you know if there's actually anything there or if it's just going to be for resources. And on top of that, it's nice that you can see which resources are where. So if you want to get chlorine, you go here. If you want to get, I think it was iron, you go here. Yes. And then there was a structure.
We generate the planet itself as a procedural content, but the handcrafted content itself comes as the player explores. Our system builds a planet as the player approaches it. We stitch together a block of terrain. After that, we...
All right. So I think I have a better understanding of that, and that's pretty much as expected. I was a little confused the first time around. They stitch together as the player explore. So from my understanding, that doesn't mean that it's procedurally generated in the way that No Man's Sky and other games, like, it's not like you land on a planet and it's a different planet for everyone in that way. They say every player is going to have different experience, but I think that's going to be with the things. So you're going to land on a planet. It's baseline the same planet for everyone. It has already been generated and then put. But then they talk about the procedural systems of the Radiant quests, where not only can random encounters be people walking up to you, it can be structures. It can be a location where people are in need of you to go to another location. So that's how it's going to be different. A structure is going to spawn that is not necessarily going to be there for another player. But the planet overall outside of those things are probably still going to be identical. But this might not be there for anyone, for everyone.
Ore and plants to pick up. It allows us to
I could be wrong, but that's the way I see it.
environmental storytelling that Bethesda is known for.
Aggressive creatures have been disrupting our experiments. Their habitat
Classic
is
Radiant
far
quest.
from here. If you could take care of them for us, we would be in your debt.
So even if your friends were to visit the same planet that you had, you would have a different story to tell.
Yeah. It sounds like. And obviously some things are going to be set on different planets, on specific locations. But I really hope we can get good variety in these like Radiant locations, really. I wonder how modular it is. Like, do they have a set amount of, like, if they want to spawn a dungeon for a Radiant thing, are they going to, do they have like 100 different dungeons they can spawn? Or can the dungeons themselves be modular? That's another curious question.
Be on your way, or simply take in the views. With the help of your scanner, you'll chart the uncharted and discover exotic wildlife.
If you have the skills, you can even figure out that certain creatures and plants, you can build an outpost and produce resources from those plants and animals. You can get experience and
really cool.
rewards for fully surveying planets and fully surveying animals.
That almost annoys me, not because it's a bad feature. It's obviously nice getting rewarded for exploring. That's kind of the whole deal. It annoys me because I feel like I'm going to have to do it. It's one of those things. It's going to take forever. Oh no, what are you doing to me?
Concepting these creatures, we really wanted to think of them as natural to the environment.
They just look really cool. Also some thick wings.
Something you've never seen before.
When it comes to our exteriors, when the sun moves, all that light is calculated in real time through the atmosphere. Our biggest goal for lighting with
That's a
Starfield
huge
is to
upgrade
make
to the
game
engine.
feel more filmic, to use lighting and color to really make it feel more cinematic.
They haven't done a lighting specific demo, but I wonder how it is like. This, alright, lighting and just environment. Caught my eye the first time, catches my eye again. It looks really cool, this cave. Even with YouTube compression. But the way the lighting is very local and it bounces off. I mean, not ray trace, but still. And the way you can like feel the depth is once again a huge improvement. It just makes me want to explore, and I suppose that's the idea.
After some exploring, you can find a spot to set up a base camp. Outposts can be built almost anywhere.
Don't know if we saw anything new in this.
And the habitat modules come in all shapes and sizes, filling all different purposes.
So curious if you can like, can I set that up? Like the couches, the chairs, the table, or is that just common room A has that setup, while common room B has another setup?
Crew and companions to work at your outposts for added bonuses and set up extractors to...
That reminds me of Sim Settlements, which is a mod for Fallout 4, which really expands the settlement system. And I am almost entirely positive that Bethesda took inspiration from that mod, as they tend to do.
To harvest resources while you're away.
Which is great.
Something we have this time is we have a new fly cam where you can toggle between
This is also great. I said it before, that could be annoying in Fallout 4 if you wanted to build large things in vanilla without console commands.
You can really decorate and fine-tune things much easier.
Looks nice, looks cozy. Like I want to make like a cozy camp on an ice planet. Just have like a fireplace, if you can do that. Like something that makes the interior feel warm. That contrast, it's just always nice.
To your playstyle. Different weapon sights and scopes, larger magazines, a selection of grips and barrels, different ammunition like explosive rounds. All you stealth players out there will surely need a suppressor. You can also choose to go hands-on with melee weapons.
Alright, so, sorry, let me just fit things here.
Different ammunition
Like, generally, looks great. Fallout 4 like modular weapons, probably. This looks cool. I think it's because it reminds me of like the times I've played like modded Fallout 4 to be more hardcore, and every bullet really counts, and you feel amazing going through like a bandit outpost, or like a raider as they're called, raider outpost, and like picking people off with a single headshot.
You can also choose to go hands-on with melee weapons.
The melee weapons look cool. Looks like a slightly altered Fallout 4 like stab.
What's realistic, what's sim, and what's Hollywood? And I think we sort of err on the side of like what's fun for the player.
Yeah, like this just looks like fun.
We've completely overhauled our combat.
Yeah, like this whole thing made me really feel like it's more than just like slightly improved Fallout 4. It just looks a lot cooler.
In this game than I want to say any other game we've done before. There's a lot of variety.
Grenade launchers.
Gear is just one of the many factors to pay attention to when engaging in combat. You may need to switch things up based on your environment. Gravity is different for each planet, and boost packs are excellent for getting around. And for giving you an edge in combat. Sometimes you'll even feel like you're flying.
I wonder if they're gonna be planets with like really high gravity, so movement is more difficult.
Zero gravity environments pose a different challenge. Firing a ballistic weapon in zero G will actually push you back.
We knew there was gonna be zero G. We'd seen that before. But it looks really cool. Seeing more of it.
Electromagnetic induction ballistic arrays. Each barrel has its own
Alright, let me just
and can dish out some serious.
let me hear that again.
Energy weapons, on the other hand, offer a more stable shooting experience.
We also have mag weapons.
Mag weapons.
These are high-powered electromagnetic induction ballistic arrays.
Alright.
Each barrel has its own targeting laser and can dish out some serious damage.
So it's like ballistic weapons that are electromagnetically like shot out with more.
Or you like more compact weapons
Yeah.
like pistols and submachine guns. Or maybe you prefer something bigger.
I don't know what I prefer. I want to play with all of them. Am I just gonna play this game non-stop for a year? I feel like as I am speaking, the Starfield Reddit is exploding. And every frame of this is going to be analyzed for the next few months. I mean, we've only got 3 months to go. Now this visually looks super cool. It's something that people have been curious about. I wonder if that is actually what that's going to be. People were curious about if you, as the player, because there are these artifacts that you found and stuff, if there's going to be a special power that you have, like the shouts from Skyrim, or like I suppose VATS from Fallout, but more like the shouts. And this might be it. This might be a singular power. It might be one of multiple. Or if it's just an upgrade, but it feels special the way they introduced it.
Thanks again for being with us today. We are just so grateful that you've taken the time and spent it here. I know there was probably a lot to take in. There's a lot to the game, even more than we could show here. You know, as we play it, we're always sharing these unique and special moments.
I'm not sure we're going to see anything more until the game releases, which is probably fine. I feel like we've gotten a good overview of what this game is.
All of them putting something special of themselves into it.
And if minor secrets are kept, that's fine.
I love the way that our final combination of all the new tech has come together to create some of the most beautiful sunsets and sunrises we've ever had in
the lighting from the sun looks really good. This is super cool. Like, this feels alien just because of the lighting, which is great.
The word that comes to mind is vast. I like to use our photo mode to take rock.
Photo mode is always fun. I'm not the best at it. Some people always get some crazy stuff out of it.
I'm most excited about our outpost building systems.
My favorite part is every time you step out on a planet, it's a unique experience.
You spent all this time building your ship, and you see it on the
I can't wait for that. That feeling, like this is my ship.
It's the kind of thing that you just can't get anywhere else.
There's something about seeing a tower over in the distance and going, I know the gravity's low here. I think I can make that jump.
It's really low gravity.
Biomes, spaceships, audio design, planets, the day-night cycle. Those details matter to me. Diplomacy, exploration, freedom, the ending. Vasco.
The ending, fucking will.
I love the robot so much.
The incredible amount of worlds we created. Sniper rifles, come on. Lever action, rocket launcher, brain sprout.
Lever action rocket launcher.
I love, but some people might find creepy. I know it's right then.
Would a lever action rocket launcher fit into a Space Cowboy playthrough? I mean, it's lever action. That might work.
The thing that I enjoy
I'll make it work.
the game is the freedom to be who
Beach shot once. A Vasco on the beach. Let's go. Where's the swimsuit?
you want to be.
I really like that that's a thing. Just because of the immersion of it.
What you've come to expect from a Bethesda title, but on a much bigger scale.
On behalf of all of us, we can't wait for you to play Starfield and make your own special moments.
Let's think about something about the editions here. Alright, something. Digital Premium Edition. Oh, up to 5 days early access. The Space First story expansion. Constellation skin pack. Now this is going to divide the people depending on if they are pre-order people or not. But yeah. Alright, so that is a digital premium edition. Perfect. I think we're just gonna go over here. Find the most beautiful thing of all. Maybe. Where's the beauty?
It's what you've come us.
There he is. Alright. I think we're going to wrap this up here. It's been a good 3-hour stream. But yeah, overall, I have not been disappointed by pretty much anything they've shown. They have shown more things in depth that I was curious about, and if anything, they have positively surprised me. Yes. So I am on the hype train, and you know that might be my own downfall, but at least it's only mine. And we're gonna see where that goes. But I think overall, for like I've been talking about Starfield specifically for a while now. Overall for Xbox, I think this was a good conference because they showed some of the bigger titles. Not necessarily a lot about them, but some of the bigger titles that might get people excited. We need some more details. And also just a bunch of minor titles, which is extra exciting because of Game Pass. I think that's where it shines, because there's a lot of those games where I'm like, that looks kind of cool. I'm not super interested, but it looks cool. And because it's on Game Pass day one, I can just try it. Maybe it's something, maybe it's not, but maybe I can find a hidden gem among them while I wait for the bigger games. And in that way, I think it was really strong. So yeah, I think that is it. Very excited for the Adoring Fan. I'm going to mention once again. That is the one trait I am sure that I want on my first playthrough. And then I'm going to sit in character creation for at least an hour, just trying to figure out which one of the others I want, because I definitely want a lot of traits. Well, you can pick 3, I think. But still. All right. I think that's all for me. I hope everyone enjoyed the showcase and the Starfield Direct. And God, I want to play this game. I want to stream it. I want to do everything right now. But I have to wait. So, we'll have to wait. See you in a bit.